I am live. I'm reading The Last Barrier. He calls it a Sufi journey. Reshad Feilds, he published this in 1976. He passed away in May 2016. I have finished all the chapters and I'm here in the very last part, which is the epilogue. I've already read a first part and I'm continuing now to finish it. Today is the 29th of July. For a moment my mind went back to the beach. The sound of the crashing water made me think of the surf in the bay. She would be lying there now with her friends, her skin the colour of sand, or perhaps she would be swimming, far out by the rocks. I got up from where I had been sitting and walked on once more. The air was getting lighter and I could see patches of sunlight on the path and under some of the trees. There were fewer trees now. Soon I would be above the timber line and onto the rock face. Good, you have seen the sun through the trees flashing on the water. Now I want you to feel the sun on your chest as you leave the last of the trees behind. Feel the sun as though it were for the first time in your life, or the last. It is the early morning sun and it warms every part of you, spreading from the center of your chest, through the veins, along your arms, down your legs, and then up your back to your head, so that your body is warm and turns out the dross fire of the sun. Feel yourself purified with the fire of the sun. As I relaxed into the warmth of the sunlight, I realized that it, too, had an awareness, a voice that could be heard. It was different from that of the earth and the water, but it too spoke to me and led me to itself. Almost at once I heard sounds, voices calling out, "Why you go on? What more do you want than this? We will become one again." I could feel my body glow, and a yearning surged through me that I had not known before, as though some great force had been awakened and was drawing me into itself. I felt Hamid tug at my sleeve. "Wake up, come on. This is not what you came for. You were shown these elements only so that you might recognize them and gain mastery over these aspects of the natural world and yourself. Take my hand now, for there is further to go." We moved on together. In the distance the voices still appealed to me, but their attraction seemed lessened. Their attraction lessened as my confidence began to return. We are coming upon the last of the elements, the element of air. You must be very careful, for this is the most powerful element of them all. In ancient cultures, this force was often revered as a god, with its own laws and initiations. You will face a test now, but I will be here as a guide. Remember to trust and you will be all right. Now imagine that you're an eagle, standing on that rock. Go on, walk to it. Now let all your limbs become loose like the eagle ruffling his feathers in the morning air. Spread your arms a little so that you can feel the wind between your arms and your body, and let your legs be a little apart. Breathe the air. Breathe as you have never breathed before. Be breathed. Let the wind breathe you. Feel the wind blow through your body, between the muscles and the fibers, through the veins between each atom. I let myself relax and tried to imagine what it would be like to be an eagle on the rock. I felt a sense of power. Perhaps I could soar on the wind. I felt the air pass through me, separating the atoms from the molecules, passing through the muscles and the fibers. No more was I breathing, I was being breathed, and I became aware that something was trying to draw me off the mountain. I struggled to remain alert, but I could not stop myself from drifting off into a deep sleep. I could hear Hamid's voice from a great distance, but his words were carried away by the sound of the air rushing through me. It was fine, so easy. I had always wanted to fly into space, away from the earth and the oceans, soaring to catch the thermals, higher and higher in the wind. There was no need to go further. I was jarred at that moment by garbled shouting, many voices at once, and someone who was shaking me. "You must not go to sleep, you must stay awake. Wake up! Wake up, the wind is trying to draw you off to the rock face. You did not come so far to sleep now. Wake up!" With every bit of strength I had left, I struggled to wake. The wind still roared through me, but little by little I could again see what was around me. Trust, hold on with everything you've got. Show this element that you acknowledge it, that one day you will be its master. Then the winds will be your friend. I stepped down off the rock onto the path. You have now passed through the elements. From here you are to go on alone. Ahead of you, above that rock, is the one you have travelled so far to meet. I'd almost forgotten. The master was there, the representative of truth on earth. But what was the truth now? Nothing could be more beautiful, more powerful than the elements of the air and fire, the forces of the water and the earth. Go on, I have been there. Now my job is to lead others who have been prepared as you have been. Go in awareness and in humility. He is waiting for you. When you find him, you are to sit about 8 feet in front of him. I will remain here, but when you reach him, you will hear my voice giving you instructions. Do what I tell you and do not be afraid. Then he stopped and I went on alone. The last part of the climb was steep and difficult, and I felt fear. Not the fear of death anymore, not even the fear of failure, but the fear of that which lies beyond all phenomena, beyond all time and space. I climbed around the rock. My foot slipped and I used my hands to lever my body over the last few yards. The noise of my feet on the rock was the only sound. My mouth was dry. On the other side of the rock was a narrow crevice through which I must climb. I tried to be awake in every atom of my being, for I knew he was there. Using my hands on the steep rock face and bracing my shoulders against the rock on either side, I pulled myself through. I was in his presence. For a moment I was too afraid to go forward, and I could not look at him, but I could hear Hamid's voice. Go on. Do as I told you. Seat yourself about 8 feet in front of him. It is all right. I sat down, and for a long time I could not raise my eyes. Tears poured down my face, not bitter tears or tears of grief, but tears of absolute joy and thankfulness. I looked up. I seemed to be looking at one face that was many faces. Everything whirled around it, but the face itself was still. The smile he gave me removed my fear. All that remained was that one moment in which was contained everything that had been and everything that would ever be. Feel the perfect love that pours from our Master into you, the love that shatters all illusion, love that has no conditions attached to it, love that heals and redeems. There's only the Master and you and that absolute love manifesting through him to fill every part of you. Manifesting through him to fill every part of you. I felt my heart open to his words. I had not known before that love has a sound, and it was like the sound of love that seemed to shatter me. It was like no sound on earth, and yet it contained all sound. Nothing could withstand the power of it. Every part of my being vibrated, resonating to the sound that revolved and spun out from the center. Everything was sound, spinning and circling, moving the planets in their orbits, permeating every molecule and atom. What I thought I was died in it was drowned in it, was redeemed through it back to the source of life. Then I heard the voice of Hamid once again. God, you have been allowed to feel the timeless presence of love. Now, feel the light of God pouring from the Master into you. Slowly the sound cleared and I began to feel a glow of pure light proceeding from him into me, penetrating my being, growing in intensity. It came to me first as colours, myriads of sparkling colours within that one light, like fireflies by the ocean. Each one flew to me, burst inside me, blinded me. It was so beautiful that I was captured by it. I was captured by it. Do not avert your face, came the command. As I heard these words, the colours became still more intense, and then from the many colours, a perfect shade of blue illuminated everything. It was as though he had become the instrument for a blue light, so intense that it blotted out every other colour. Gone were the golds of the sun and the yellows and pinks of dawn, the rich reds, mauves and greens. There was only limitless blue. I remembered the words, do not avert your face, and from somewhere came the thought that if one were brave enough and well enough prepared to die in life, then from the beauty of the colours would come the pure white light, the light that makes colour visible. I had travelled for a long time, and now I felt I could accept that. There was nothing else that I wanted. From the moment of the recognition of that yearning, a change began to occur. First the blue began to shimmer with silver streaks that sparkled with tremendous brilliance, and then from within the blue itself poured a blinding whiteness. It seemed to come from the centre of all life. It was a light. I surrendered to it, opened myself to it, let it take from me the last shred of my past, purifying me until there was nothing left of me. Hamid's voice came to me from far away. For anything to manifest in this world, it is necessary that the divine power pierce the veils that separate us from the real world. Let this power fill you now. Then I was very still, numbed by all that was happening to me. Then, seemingly far away at first, I heard a rumbling like thunder in distant hills. The rumbling grew to a roar, and I put my hands to my ears to blot out the sound. I realized then that the sound came also from within myself, that there was nothing I could do to escape it. I wanted silence more than anything in the world. I looked at the master, pleading, but he was completely impassive and disturbed. The power of the sound simply passed through him, and came to the point where I felt that I could not bear it any longer, and then, through the roar, came Hamid's voice once again, steady and calm. Do not be afraid, he said. Few people are given this chance. You have only to surrender to the power that brings everything into being, and you will be safe. And I keep having an interrupted internet connection, and so I stopped this here. There's not much left, but I will read that another time.